Hola everyone, welcome, bienvenidos. My name is Carla Solórzano and today we're talking about entertaining the little ones at your wedding. And with me is preschool and Spanish teacher, Noelia Martin Barrera. Hola Noelia, welcome, bienvenida.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me here.
No, thank you for being here. You're being from Spain, moving here to the States. I want to go a little further back for you to tell us, how you got into education when you were in Spain, and then how you got where you're today.
Okay, let's see. How back do you want me to go? No, so
up to you.
Excellent. So I'm gonna start with my studies over there in Spain. The last minute, I always been a science girl, but in the last minute, I decided to study education. So I went to college in Spain. I studied a bachelor's in education with a major in physical education, physical activities, and sport. And then while I was studying, obviously, when you're a student, you have to, make some money on the side. And because of my personality and because I'm myself a child, I was doing a lot of parties. I was doing a lot of animation. I was going into urban camps and summer camps. And even myself, when I was little, I grew up going to summer camps. So I will always look at, people that were animating the camp with admiration and like, wow, they have so much fun. So that environment plus my passion about learning took me into an educational career. And then I finished my career over there, and I was working a little bit as a teacher for a few months. And then I decided to travel the world because I was young, and then I always been passionate about different cultures, different languages. So from Spain, I went to France. From France, I went to Australia. From Australia, I finished here in the United States. Wow. And over here, I was missing working with kids, so I decided to go back to school. And I went to UCLA Extension, and then I took my certification in early childhood education. Why? Because even though I was trained and I studied to be an elementary school teacher, grades K to 6, again, my personality animated, I always ended up with the little ones, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, right? So when I moved over here, and then I decided to keep going with my education career, I was like, okay, what can I study that I haven't done yet? And I thought, there you go, early childhood education. Why? Because psychologically speaking and developmentally speaking, a 6th grader has nothing to do with a 3 years old. Even like a 3 years and a 5 years old are completely different. So you have to understand a little bit their little minds and what they are going through, because those 5 years of their life are very important. So you have to understand those in order to be able to meet their needs, even to entertain them, even to teach them, to whatever it is. So I went to college over here for a year and a half. I learned a lot of new things, and right after when I finished college, I started working in the first preschool here in America, which it was my home for 5 years. I started as an assistant, and then right away I was given my own class with my 3 years old, and I moved up to the pre-K 4 years old, where I stayed for 4 years. And from there, I learned a lot, sharing my classroom with different people. That's the magic of education as well. You have to work side by side with someone else, different styles, different ways of seeing things, and what you cannot see in one kid, the other person is gonna see it. So it's a constant learning, which is what I love from education. And then after that, recently, last year, I changed my school. I was working in a different school here in the Valley with a different philosophy that also helped me to have a different perspective of what education can be. So my first job over here, it was play-based. which is more like plain, but it had a lot of academics and sitting down since they are little. Now, when I moved to my new job, is a philosophy called Reggio Emilia. So Reggio Emilia, I always been very interested in it, and I'm so lucky that I got to work in a place that was implemented, or it was Reggio Emilia inspired. But it's basically educating based on arts and social skills. So anything, number, colors, shapes, whatever you can imagine that kids can learn at that time, how to write, how to read. It's all based and presented in an artistic format, right? So I'm not gonna sit down and tell them how to write the letter A. Maybe I'm gonna start just like experimenting with some lines. And wait, what happens if we do like a diagonal line like that? What if we do another one? Oh, it looks like a little house, right? Okay, let me close the door, and then you make a horizontal line. There you go. You have a little house, which from art. Wait a second. Those were lines and they become letters. What? Boom! And then you start like pulling, because I believe that kids they are born with knowledge. You have to pull it out, right? Like little by little. So from their emergent, that's why it's called an emergent curriculum, you start like getting more things out, like sparking their interest in their inner motivation to learn more. That mixed with social emotional skill with is, as teachers, we are not a figure of authority, we're one more. So the bonding between your students and yourself is so wonderful that you feel way more connected, and magic happens.
Wow.
So that's a little bit from my point of view. Reggio Emilia is way more complicated than that, but in a nutshell.
But I can see that I've known you for so many years, and yes, you're a child yourself, it's true, but also you are very artistic. You love art, and you love your expression of art, and you also do it through dance. So I can see how you're so passionate about that specific way of teaching, because it goes with your values, if I can say.
Exactly. I believe that arts are a way of excuse me, expressing yourself. That's why as adults we all have like a little hobby or passion that helps us to just like get away from the responsibilities in the adult life, right? Like in my case, I found dance, which I love, but it's my way of like blow out some steam. Right. Why? Because I can let myself go. I can express myself. And I believe that if you start making kids feel comfortable with expressing themselves through something as natural as is art, especially in kids, because they are not judging, oh, let me see how you color that. Oh, you're going outside of the line, so let me see how you dance. Oh, well, that's not a good dancing. For them, there is no judgment like that. It's just like, it's fun. It's fun. It's an explosion of colors. It's movement. It's like burn some energy. It's fun. So they express, and you can get to really know them through that how to say that in that way, right? So if you can use that to let them express themselves, and then learn new things through it, to me that's my educational philosophy. It helped me when I was learning when I was younger, and that's what I want to transmit to my students.
Wow, that's amazing. And do you because you also speak 3 languages, right? 3 or 4? Yeah. So do you 3? Yeah, I'm like so you speak Spanish, French, and English. And do they have classes? Do you teach classes also in Spanish and French, or only English?
Yes. So besides kids, one of my other passion is learning languages, right? I had the pleasure to live for a year in France, And then what helped me the most is that I fell in love with this French guy, and then my French skills went up to the sky.
Yeah.
But yes, but I'm always been, when I was at a school, like a grammar geek, and then one day like, why my language? Why do we say this in Spanish? Why does it work like that? Why there is this pattern that repeats when blah blah blah? So I analyze, as a learner. I analyze a lot of language. So when I started learning different languages, French was my first one. Then I went for, well, English. You start at the school, but you don't really learn an English. I
Yeah.
mean, a language until you are immersed in that country.
Yeah.
So I'm passionate about it. And then people love when you speak different language, and people will love to speak different language. So my one of my missions, or one thing that I would like to pass along, is like that knowledge. Right. And then for little kids, maybe they're not interested in languages, but I like to show them how learning a new language can be fun. And then just spark a little bit the interest. So
Yeah.
yes, besides teaching, um, in my regular job, which is early childhood education, I do teach Spanish. I do implement my Spanish classes like as an enrichment class in my regular job, but I also have private students, either like kids, teenagers, and adults. And they all require, it's fascinating because they all require different ways of learning.
Yeah.
Which helps me to
Right.
be more creative, to, I don't work with books. I hate books. Unless an adult tell me I need to follow a book, I will follow a book. But if not, I'll try to craft the activities and the games myself. So that's also my way of, blowing out some steam.
Yeah.
Creating those kind of
Creating.
games.
Yeah. So you being an educator and also an artist, a creator yourself, you were able to transport all that to weddings. So you are also entertaining the little ones at the weddings, which I think is amazing, and a lot of people don't know about it. So I want to talk a little bit more about what you do and ways you do things you do to entertain the little ones. And it's so different from when you have people there taking care of the kids, or when their kids are by themselves running around because the parents just want to
That's what they do.
on and dance, and the kids are just running through the whole thing, getting into the kitchen. It can be a little chaos. So it's a great opportunity for you guys that are engaged, if you are having a lot of kids, to have someone like Noelia and her team to come in and take care of the kids, so your guests don't have to worry about it. So let's talk about some examples of things you do when you come to weddings with your team to entertain the little ones.
So we all love kids, right? They're
You
cute.
do.
They're cute. But what happened is that in an environment that is a party, adults, they have fun. But guess what? If for you is an adult, your excitement goes here. As a child, your excitement is gonna like be up here.
Yeah.
And then here comes the adult that is like, oh, well, let's play. This is cute. This kid is cute. Da, da, da. But when you start like bringing that energy up, and in a party that happened by itself, bring the energy down in a kid. And a kid is, it's not that it's hard, but it requires, a little bit of time, and it takes, it requires time, and you have to also kind of like redirect that energy into something. Or we set up a little area in the venue where we put different corners, or it could be like a table, a rack, a little lounge, where we put out there like some activities for kids to stay engaged doing something. It's, again, families and in a wedding, you also have to understand that you cannot bring your kid and then put it into my little section and then
Leave.
expect him to stay there.
Yeah,
No, mommy
yeah.
and daddy are having fun. Why do I have to be here with a stranger?
Right.
So it's a little bit like of a free flow, right? We try our best to keep the kids engaged, but we also understand that their families over there, that they want to share that time with their family, and then we're here to engage them. But if they, for some reason, they lose that engagement and then that interest, okay, go and then come back later. We're here for you if you want to play. So things that we do, it will all depend a little bit if the wedding is during the daytime or the evening, if it's indoors or if it's outdoors, and if it has a big budget or if it doesn't have a big budget, right? So let's say that your wedding is outdoors daytime and you have a big budget. You know what will be amazing? One of those blow up castles that everybody loves, and then kids can be over there engaged for
Hours.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Which is, if somebody has that idea, we don't do it with my company, but if somebody has that idea, you have to be very mindful that accidents can happen. And that could be something that you have to worry about and then you don't expect to. So watch out with those things. But what we do is that we first of all, I see how many kids I have to see how many of my people I have to bring with me, and then I kind of like classify them or sort them by ages. Meaning, like, different ages, they're gonna have different interests and different needs. So for instance, a kid that is 4 years old might love coloring, but if you give that to a 9 years old, a 9 years old boy, they're gonna say like, no, I don't like coloring. So depending on how many, let's say that I will split them into 3 to 6, 7 to 10, and then 11 and up. Teenagers are a different world. Teenagers just like to be independent. First of all, they don't want to be in the wedding, so you have to deal with that from the beginning. But we try to make it fun for them too. So I'm going to give you a little example for each age, right? So 3 to 5, more or less. 2 years old is also fine. Parents have to understand that I'm a stranger. They're going to pass me 2 years old to me. And at the beginning, it might be a little bit, the kid might be like, okay, who's that person? Is my mommy coming back? Why am I here? So in some cases with those ages, maybe the adult that is with them has to stay with us for a little while until the kids are comfortable enough with me or with a team member. So with 2 to 3 years old, I usually bring a rug that I spread because they love to play on the floor. And then they love building. They love creating. Anything that is like Legos, blocks. These new blocks that I love, and they're called magnet tiles. They are different shapes. And they are translucent, so you can see through. But they have magnets on the side, so you can, it's so easy to connect.
It's easier,
Exactly. So a Lego for a 3 years old might be too hard with the little fingers. They are not strong enough. It can be frustrating. So I bring the magnetized. That's a go-to for anything. If you don't have magnetized at home,
buy one. You need to buy one now.
Yes. So magnetized blocks and art on a table, they're gonna be very engaged. They love that age. Really love hands-on activities. And to be honest, the messier the better. But in weddings, no messy activities. So no paint. It's gonna be mostly crayons. Markers, I leave the markers for the older kids as well, because a marker on a beautiful dress can be a disaster. But yeah, for that age, I will, the rag, if you have dolls or babies, we bring a couple of babies, dress up. Like, they love to dress up, a few, a boa, a mask, a hat, a superhero cape. Those little things, they love it. So we put that over there. We also we use the carpet for dance parties. Like, adults are dancing. Why kids cannot dance in the way they want? Why not dancing wearing a superhero cape? That's the best thing.
The best thing ever.
Yes. So that will be for that age. Then if we move a little bit older, like 7, 8, 9, at that age, I think my experience, what they love, girls, they love, and boys too, they start drawing better, right? So they love drawing as well. You can have a couple of coloring sheets, but they love to do crafts.
Mm,
Girls especially, they love doing little jewelry.
uh-huh.
So buying beads and some string and making a bracelet for mama, a bracelet for my auntie, a bracelet for myself, a bracelet for my sister, then a necklace that goes
Bracelets.
together. But the
Great.
beads are up to here.
Sí, sí.
Beads are very engaging.
Okay.
Board games.
Ah, yes.
um yeah, age appropriate board games, and especially if an adult is engaged in that game, is even better. You can teach them some cards. I usually put some connect four. What else do we put over there? There's this super fun game that is called Spotted. It's a little bit like I Spy, but on speed.
Okay.
On speed is like a race for I Spy. So those little games, I think that they are very useful for that age. And Legos,
Mm-hmm.
and that, yeah, Legos are more so if you put a couple of little dolls. Lego, no, don't put another kind of dolls. If you're playing with Legos, it has to be with a Lego doll. Otherwise,
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
they don't like it.
They don't like
But
it. Yeah.
yeah, but Legos, they love it, creating same thing on the carpet, but maybe they can put them on the side, so the little ones and the older kids, they are not together, because the worst thing that can happen is that my little cousin comes and then ruin my spaceship that took me 50 minutes to build. Then I'm gonna be really, really, really upset.
Very.
So also give them their own space. And then
Mm-hmm.
if we move on into teenagers, we try to put like a little corner with puffs and pillows where it could be like the little
Oh,
lounge. You can express
yes.
some magazine, maybe they can listen to their music over there. They can just have like the little um, meeting, or the little hangout they can bring. We usually bring a few sweets or something to eat in that space, so food keeps kids very engaged. So if we put like a little bar with a few gummy bears and a few cookies, and then they can, or lemonade, and they can have the little lemonade and then go back to the little teenager lounge and then have a little chit chat with their best friend over there. um, that works perfect. And obviously, if families are okay with it, we have like a video game stand, which is
Mm-hmm.
always a big success, as well as a little movie corner. I'm gonna say that's on demand, right? Because some families, they will be like, we don't want the kids to be with electronics that day, or
Yeah.
they can be doing something else. Sure, no problem. If they are okay with it, we have our little Wii station, mostly with games. Those games that is like a sport, but you have to be active and
Yeah, yeah.
jumpy.
The dancing one is fun.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And then we have a little movie corner that we can set up with some cartoons, etc. So for teenagers, that works very well, like a
Mm-hmm.
little lunch and video games. We can, well, that is if we are indoors, right? If a few ideas if we are outdoors, games like party games. It could be, we could play Twister. We could play, what is the name of that game? The name of that game, Tag the Tail.
Mm-hmm.
That's the game, right? A sack race with a potato, one of those big
Oh,
potato bags.
uh-huh.
Yeah, those little things. Relay races, obstacle courses. They love that. And then there will always be, if it's outdoors, there will always be one of my team members organizing those little games, while other person will be maybe with the kids that prefer to be sitting down playing with their babies or building with the Legos,
Mm-hmm.
and another one could be on the table doing some arts and craft, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but outdoors, obstacle courses, scavenger hunts.
Yes, I love that one.
Yes, they love that. One thing that they do a lot and is very successful, we do it, but I see that a lot of people do it as well. It's a scavenger hunt with the disposable camera. So I will give, especially with the older kids, and they can team up even, like one older kid with a little one. So they have a little list of items that they have to find. And then once they find it, they have to go and then take a picture of it, and then they can cross it off the list. We can provide those disposable cameras, or if that's not into the budget, then they can borrow a phone, an iPhone, and take pictures of that. Also, another thing that I like to do with them is give them little challenges. For instance, here's this camera, and here's this birthday hat with these props. You have to go to your auntie and you have to convince her to wear all those and do the chicken dance, and then you're gonna record her doing that. Ready? The first one that comes, the first one that gets the video, then you can give them a little incentive, like you get like this, a lollipop, or it could be like a little, those party supplies, like a little, I don't know, like those little googly eyes, or like one of those sticky hands, a little present, just to make it more interesting.
And if they want to do like big prices, maybe you can build it into your
as well. It all depends on the budget.
Exactly. That's so much fun.
I usually give ideas of what we can do based on the kids that I'm gonna have and their ages, and then I can suggest, like, okay, if you have a better budget or a higher budget, we can go for this. If not, then I'll always find my way of trying to make it entertaining with a lower budget as well. So lower budgets are not a big problem. You don't need a big budget to entertain kids.
Right. Yes, true.
A matter of creativity.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Are there any other ideas or of fun things to do for the kids?
There are many.
I'm sure you have like a book.
Yeah. One thing that we are incorporating lately, and then adults do it too, and we all love it, is a photo booth.
Oh yeah.
Right. And when you go to any event, usually now for sure there is a photo booth with props, and then some people, and I include myself, we love to stay there for a long time, doing a picture and then another.
Yes, true.
Right. So in some moments, I feel like kids are, you can take a little 1 or 2 pictures with the kids, but you're like, okay, now the adults, go away.
Right.
But kids love pictures more if there's things to dress up with, right?
They do.
So we set up a photo booth for the kids in my area, so they can take as many pictures as they want, right?
Not adults allowed?
Not adults allowed. I mean,
that's so much fun. Like, no. So good.
I mean, if adults want to come for a little bit and then hang out with their son or their niece or whatever, they are welcome. It's not like no adults allowed in the corner, but it's like kids run that little space up there.
Right.
So adults are welcome to come take a few pictures, but they cannot take control.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. That's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, that's the kids area. Come on.
Right. Yeah. But that works really well as well.
I'm sure.
And then we can send those those pictures through email, or again, if it's a better budget, and then we can rent one of those machines that prints the pictures right away. We can accommodate that too. But if not, awesome. a little background, a fun background, a bunch of props, and one of those ring lights for selfies, that's a perfect low budget photo booth.
I like it. Yeah. Okay, Noelia, if so how can people find you, or what's the process if they want to book or work with you for a wedding or an event? It doesn't have to be a wedding. It could be also a corporate event.
It could be any event.
Yeah, any event. Yeah.
So the process, like, I'm in contact with different wedding planners and wedding coordinators like yourself, and then they can offer my services, and then they can contact me directly on my email. I'll give you later my email. You can add it to the comments of the
Yeah.
video down below. Down below. But yeah, usually it's through wedding coordinators or like passing, the word along as well. And then the first step for contacting the services, it will be like, okay, telling me more or less how many kids we're gonna have.
Okay.
And the ages. For me, that's essential, because I want to make sure that I bring enough team members to, prepare everything, not only set up everything, but also make it fun for the kids. Because
Right.
let's say that you tell me, oh, there will be 7 kids. Okay, I can do that myself, no problem. But then if I end up with 15, guess what? I'm gonna be overwhelmed. And the kids, I like to give them attention. I like to interact with them. I like to be part of the game because it makes it even more fun.
Yeah.
But if I have to worry about 15 different things going on by myself, it's not gonna be very successful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
telling me how many kids are coming and their age, that's gonna help me to plan, right? Basically, I need to know how many people, the space that I have, and then the kind of activities that you're comfortable doing.
Right.
I can go crazy, and I love going crazy, or I can keep it mellow.
Right. But then if I contact you and I have no idea what I want, you can help me build something based on what the kids, what I think the kids might like, right? You give suggestions.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So now that we're in the midst of COVID, boo, hopefully we are going to be out of this if you hear this in 2021. But right now, we're in the middle of COVID. The schools are closed. We don't know if they're going to come back for a while. So what are you doing right now? Are you teaching online? Like,
well, I have to, like a lot of people nowadays, I have to reinvent myself, right?
Yeah.
So yes, I've been doing a lot of teaching online. So as I told you before, I teach Spanish, and then a lot of my classes had to be moved to an online platform, like mostly Zoom. And I do those classes over there, like again, for it's extra work for a teacher, because you have to make it like super interested and then animated.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to come up with ways of making a class interactive, and then sharing a screen, and then you can color in the screen, I can write in the screen, you can pick like the right answer. Like, my classes are are interactive, are playful, are games. So there's a lot of interaction, and that's why I have to be like becoming an expert in all this
technology.
New technologies.
Wow. Can you do that if someone that is watching wants to contact you to entertain their kids?
Sure.
Okay, there you go, you guys.
Sometimes I have no idea how to do arts and crafts, and then I need help with my kid because he is bored out of his mind. Okay, well, we can have a little 30-minute meeting when every day I teach you how to do something. Origamis, dinosaurs with paper, or if you want to go, like, we can make a castle out of cardboard or whatever, like, or paint. Sky's the limit.
Yeah,
sky's the limit. So yeah.
Wow. So guys, I'm going to leave Noelia's email down here. So as you can see, she's very creative and she can do it all. So contact her if you need help right now with the kids, because a lot of people do. No, I have 2 more questions. They're fun questions, so people get to know you a little better. What is your favorite food?
I have so many. Okay.
one thing that you can eat all the time, breakfast, dinner, like that one thing that you can eat all the time.
Okay. I love nuts. I'm a nut. I know, but I could just like feed out of that like almost anything that has almost. I love it.
Okay, let me reformulate the question.
Okay.
What is your favorite prepared food?
Okay, fine. Rice. Anything with rice.
Paella?
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm Spanish. I don't know how to make paella.
I know.
God, forgive me.
You guys, I've been begging Noelia to make me paella for I don't know how long. And you believe
I could, but it could be a disaster. But
okay. We gotta do it.
Anything that have rice. I love Thai food because all the fried rice and arroz a la cubana. I don't know if you guys have that, like white rice with an egg and
with an egg on
sauce.
top. Oh yeah.
Yeah, anything.
Any rice. Okay, even rice by itself, like white rice by
Oh,
itself.
I'm about now. Once we will be done, I'm about to do arroz con leche.
Uy. I like arroz con leche.
Arroz con leche.
Oh my God, qué rico. Okay, how about your favorite drink or cocktail?
I think I love sangria for sure.
Of course, she's from Spain.
I will always go with the rosé. I like wine, and I drink more red wine than white, but rosé, especially in summer. Well, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm an educator. I don't drink.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Poop. Censurado. We're gonna edit that. No, I'm not gonna edit in that part. Rosé. Yeah, kids are not watching. It's fine. Yeah, rosé. I like rosé too, especially now in summer. Sounds good.
And then if it's a cocktail like mimosa or sparkling rosé.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Helpful. I will put your information down below so people can reach out to you, or if it's a wedding or an event, you can also reach out to me and I can put you in contact with Noelia for for that. Or if you need help right now with this COVID, you need help with the little kids at home, they're driving you crazy, call her. Yeah, she is a patient soul. I've seen her in action. She's a patient soul. Yeah. Well, thank you, Noelia, very much again.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. Okay, bye.
Gracias for tuning in. If this video was valuable for you, make sure to comment and like below. And of course, subscribe. See you next week. Bye.